Okay, today's recipe is Beurre Blanc, and I'm going to show you how to make proper Beurre Blanc. First off, take a cup of white wine. It looks like about right. 1 cup of white wine, 1/4 of a cup of vinegar. I just used cheap white wine because I asked a family member to get me some white wine, and he brought me home 3 bottles of the cheapest plonk he could buy. So he got 3 bottles for $20, so that's what I used. But I have used it with this, and it is very nice. And I just used a nice white wine vinegar. I've got that on high, and to that I'm now going to add 2 tablespoons of chopped onion. Actually, you meant to use chopped shallots, but I didn't have any shallots here, which is just a small red onion. So I've just used plain onion, which is just as good. And I'm just adding a little bit of flavour to mine because I like to add a little bit of bits and pieces. So I'm going to add a little bit of thyme in there, just like that. Throw the whole thing in, it's fine. And I'm going to use whole peppercorns. I'm just going to chuck in 2 or 3 whole peppercorns. I'm going to bring that to the boil now, and I'm going to simmer it right down to nothing. And I will be back when that's just about gone. You need this to reduce almost down to nothing. I will show you. Okay, as you can see now, this is almost boiled down to nothing. There's just a slight film of liquid on the bottom. I'm just going to take that thyme out. Okay, at this stage here, if you add cream at this stage here, this is no longer called Beurre Blanc. It's called butter sauce with cream in it. Real Beurre Blanc does not have cream in it. And this is a very rich sauce anyway, so you wouldn't want to put cream in it anyway. Also, Beurre Blanc means white butter, and that's ironic really, because I've never ever seen Beurre Blanc that's white. It's always been yellow from the butter. So God knows why they said white, unless you can get white butter from somewhere, I don't know. Now I'm going to put 8 ounces or 225 grams of butter into this. Look at that, there's almost nothing left in that now. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to sit it over here. Let me move that camera for you. Do this close to the heat as I can, because I want to put it back on the heat as I need to. So now I'm going to start adding knobs of butter at a time and mount it down. I've taken it off the heat. So just mix it in like that. Mix all that butter in. And then just keep adding a knob at a time, and if it gets too cold and it doesn't mount, just put it back on the heat. Heat it up a little bit. Now, what a lot of people don't know about Beurre Blanc is that it was first made in New Zealand. Yes, it was discovered in New Zealand by a Kiwi woman out in the country in about 1976, and she had been boiling vinegar and wine on the stove and had forgotten about it, and she came in from the dairy because she had just made some butter, and she seen it was just about boiled dry, and she took it off the stove, and when she was trying to take it off, she was still holding the butter, and the butter fell in, and she tried to scoop the butter out and she couldn't, so she just started mixing it in, and that night she served it to her family like that, and that's how Beurre Blanc came about. Now, some people are going to tell you that it was invented in France, but that's just the French stealing our recipes, so don't really listen to that. It was invented in New Zealand. Okay? That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So you just add your butter a little bit at a time, and you keep doing that until it is all melted in. Don't boil it, don't do it quickly, a little bit at a time, because we still want this to be a thick buttery sauce, and if you boil it, it's going to separate. Like when you put hot butter into a pan, it separates. And there you have your finished beurre blanc. Now you can either strain that off, and that's what I do, or you can pour it over your fish, potatoes, asparagus, chicken, anything you like with the onions and that in. It's still nice. You can leave the onions and the peppercorns in, that's fine, but I strain mine off so you have this beautiful just butter sauce. And I'll tell you something right now. I'm just going to get a little spoon and try that. You know this is bad for you when you eat it. It's one of the most beautiful, rich, buttery sauces you've ever tasted. Absolutely beautiful. You know that's bad for you. Anyway, that's how you make beurre blanc. Smile and have a nice day. Something I forgot to tell you was sometimes when I make beurre blanc I have too much. So what I do is I let it go hard and then I put it in the fridge. I wrap it up in Glad wrap and put it in the fridge. And then whenever I cook a steak or whatever, and then I'm making the gravy, I just cut off the knob of that and put it in the gravy. And it's absolutely beautiful. And here is my beautiful finished beurre blanc. Let me put this up and show you. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Big jug of this beautiful beurre blanc. Anyway, guys, smile and have a nice day.